Hello everybody, I've returned and this time I'm going to try to see just how far I can throw. I've got 10 discs with me. I'm going to throw them 3 times each, so 3 rounds of 10 throws, and we're going to see just how far I can go. I'm actually here to do a little bit of field work and try to learn or practice the cross step and throwing because I'm not very good at it and no time like the present to learn. And I've got these discs here or here based on where I'm going to put the graphics, and they're all 9-speed discs. They all have a rim thickness of about 1.9 centimeters. You know, the wing length is that long, but they're different stabilities, and I'm going to start with the least stable to the most overstable, and we're going to go from there. So let's go ahead and get the first round going. I'm going to start essentially with a slow run up, walk up, whatever you want to call it, and try to focus more on accuracy than distance for this first set. And I've got my 2 cameras basically set up so that I can try this out. So now let's go ahead and start with the first throw. Left, right, left, right. And what I'll do is use U-disc here and measure the farthest one. I'm really only interested in the farthest one in any set. Left, right, left, right. Surprisingly, 2 good first starts. I actually released that with too much hyzer. There's something to be said for slow walk-ups. I released that too late, but pretty strong. Now we're moving up in stability. I had to throw that on a little bit of anhyzer because of how stable that is. Too high, no anhyzer. Now I've really got to start beefing up. Too high, no anhyzer. I'm also not doing the walk up the way I'm supposed to. I'm losing focus. There we go. That was a little bit more like what I wanted. Last but not least, I'm not sure this is exactly a Thunderbird, but it's got the closest profile to one, so I'm considering it a Thunderbird. All right, let's go see which one is the farthest. Okay, so not bad. I got 250 plus feet with the Valkyrie. Now it's time to hopefully dial things in a little bit better. Too flat. I should have threw it with a slight bit of hyzer given what disc that is. Too high and too much hyzer. Got good distance though. Wow, this is terrible. I'm telling you, if I ever learn how to throw, I might actually be good at this game. Too much hyzer. It's kind of funny that my first throws were better than my second. I'm not dialing anything in. Lord help me, I'm not doing good at all. My good throws are fairly terrible. I'm supposed to line the feet up like this. Left, right, left. It's the best one so far of this set. Too high. The only thing that saved that was the anhyzer. See if I can throw this low, but not too low. 45, 90, 45. I, of course, hyzered that one. I need to be using anhyzer for these overstable discs. I threw it way too low. All right, that was depressing. Let's see if I made a good shot out of those. Okay, I'd be lying if I said I was satisfied with that second set of throws. I'm not really going any farther than I normally get with my standstills, so I'm going to try to see if I have a little more accuracy and potentially more distance with my standstill throws. So I was planning on 3 sets of cross step, but I'm doing so bad at the cross step that I'm not really achieving the goal that I wanted here, which is to see how far I can throw. Because I'm not really throwing any farther than I did a year ago, unfortunately. So here we go. Standstill it is. Oh, I got a little bit hyzer. That may be the farthest throw yet. Too much hyzer on that one. I was trying to go for a slight hyzer and I went for a steep hyzer, strong hyzer. Okay, slight hyzer here. Released it with the hyzer. That's a problem I've been having more recently, is I've been doing too aggressive a hyzer. So let's go with flat. Nope, hyzer it is. I realize body position is part of it. The further you go, the more hyzer you get. So let me see if I can correct a little bit as I match the stability. There we go. That is what I wanted. Now I definitely don't need hyzer. I'm in the land of the stable, for me at least. That's as flat as I could get it. I'm going to need some anhyzer. By the way, the wind is blowing this direction. The wind is at my back. Too high, but I got the release angle that I wanted. Okay, I'm going to again try with a more straight torso, stand still, try to get flat. There we go. I tried hyzering it with my release angle, but my body prevented it from doing it too much. Again, try to go for a hyzer, anhyzer I mean, that ended up a straight release. All right, now the most overstable of the discs that I'm carrying. Too much of an attempt to anhyzer and I borked it. Let's go see what I've got. All right, so I wasn't happy with this effort today. It turns out I haven't gained any distance whatsoever with my throws in the last year. It's a little bit disappointing, but to be honest, I really shouldn't expect any different given my age of 50 years old and I haven't even attempted to practice throwing in a year. And all I've done is play disc golf, say, you know, twice a week or so. But that is going to do it for seeing how far I can throw with the backhand. As you can see, alongside of me, the numbers weren't bad, but they weren't good in my opinion. And for those to be the best out of 10 throws, for me, just indicates that this is the weakest part of my game, and it's something I'm going to have to work on in the future. Now let's go ahead and see how I do with forehand. All right, you pretty much know the drill. I've got 10 discs. This time these are all 6 speed or so. They all have 1.6 centimeter rims, and they're all very similar in terms of their speed and performance. So now I'm going to try yet again 10 throws with my sidearm. I released that late, but that was a really good throw. So let me try to go straight forward. Again, a little late. Almost like grip lock, but not quite. Now let me see if I can flatten this out a little bit. Too much hyzer. Try this again, a little flatter. There we go, that's what I wanted. Again, a tiny bit too late, but that is about what I wanted. Too much hyzer on that. I knew it as soon as I released it. Didn't quite get the release that I wanted on that. It's not bad though. These are now too overstable for me to hyzer flip them at my arm speed, so I need to throw them flat. That, my friends, is what I wanted. Maybe a slight bit low, but honestly, that is good. I hyzered that slightly, trying to overcompensate for my perceived stability of it. These are all upper threes at this point, to be honest. I released that too late and on hyzer, so sorry about that, guys. This is the one I'm most interested at throwing, because this is a foundling that basically looks like a flattened leopard. All right, I'm actually more satisfied with that than I have been my backhand throws. All right, the wind has really picked up, going kind of this way, so I'm not sure how that's going to really affect my throws. Let's try another round. Pretty nice. Slightly less hyzer than I wanted. I think I released that flat. This needs to be almost like that. There we go. That is what I wanted. Not exactly what I wanted, but that's the end result that I wanted. Slight bit late, slight bit more end hyzer, but it ended up basically where I wanted it, so I can't really complain. This is where things start to get a little more stable. Too low. Too much want on that one, so I aimed low. Threw low. I didn't aim low, I threw low. There we go, that is what I wanted. Should have put a little more anhyzer on that because now I'm getting into stable boy territory. Too low, but that is what I wanted. I'll have to dial this in, but to be fair, I've never actually done I've only done one forehand practice session ever. Too low. I mean, I'm happy that these are going the direction I want them to. Much more controlled than I was with the backhand, but still, I gotta aim a little taller. Slight bit late release, or early release, but only by a percentage or two. Now the stable boys. There we go, that is what I wanted. Finally. All right, let's see what this flat top leopard, it's actually not a leopard, the rim is a unique rim, but it is a flat boy. Ooh, almost didn't stack my fingers. There we go. That is so overstable for me. Let's go see what I've got. All right, my cheetah was actually a couple feet shy of the winner there. My City Blend Glow Centurion. Pretty happy with both those discs. The wind changed up a little bit. Let's see what I can do. That was the right amount of hyzer for once. That was great. Okay, a little less hyzer. Almost straight, but not quite. There we go, that is what I wanted. That is practically perfect. There we go. Well, it's a learning experience, plus there's wind coming this way, so I'm not sure how much of an error was on my part. I'm largely happy with that one. Now it's entering into stable boy territory. That is fine. Slide hyzer. Ended up about the angle that I wanted. Not perfect, but I'm a novice. This is the best I can expect. There, I released it on hyzer. I thought I released that flat. It felt so good. I can't get away with that with this one. So now a slight bit more stable, but more glidey. That was a late release on my part, but I love the flight. That went really far. The fact that I'm dialing these in better than my backhands kind of scares me, even though I'm not getting the distance. All right. There we go. Maybe a touch high, but to be honest, that is exactly the release angle and release timing that I wanted. I'd rather go a little bit too high than too low, given the distance that I can travel. Slight hyzer with that one. It should have been released flat. That was an error on my part. These stable boys I really can't play around with. I've got to do a little bit of anhyzer. Too high, too flat. All right. The tilt of leopards. I'm just kidding. There we go. How to basically do that. Alrighty, I'm happy with those. All right, so I had multiple discs right at the 200-foot mark, my two leopards and my cheetah, but the one that got the farthest was my Magician in active premium plastic. but they're all really close to each other. So I'm actually much happier with my forehands than my backhands. But let's go ahead and go to the studio and I'll break down a few things for you. What I've learned today is that without training for distance and accuracy, I'm not really going to improve in either. Just playing on the course isn't quite enough. And although I've improved over the last year, there's a law of diminishing returns, and until I really dial in my form through training and practice, I won't get any better. So my farthest backhand throw was 256 feet with my Valkyrie, and my farthest forehand throw was 209 feet with my Gazelle. My average throw for backhand from offhand observation of all my throws was about 220 feet, which is what I tend to see on the course. And my forehand throws were somewhere around 180 feet, which is also something I kind of see on the course if I kind of get into it. And the accuracy, as you might expect from watching, wasn't very good, though the forehand throws were a little bit closer to each other overall. But I do suspect that's because the distance wasn't as great, so there was less of a chance for them to be as far away from each other as the backhand throws were. So next week I will publish another video using some of the content that I've recorded in this one to highlight some of my better throws and use that to put together some form requests for my backhand and forehand throws. I did have a GoPro there for the side view, so look for that sometime next week. The rest of the week I'll have your standard round videos, as I have a special guest that's joining me and Sean, or Sean and I, for the next 2 or 3 videos. So please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you liked this video. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.